All right, let's try it again. Round 2 here at Dover is got kicked out a few minutes ago. Apparently, iRacing having some frame issues and stuff or whatever. But Chris Gallup here in the booth with you as we are for Races Only TV and United Sim Racing Championship here at the Dover International Speedway. Let me update Trading Paints. But special guest joining me up here in the booth. He's been wanting to get up here for a few weeks now, and been trying to be as patient with him and get him up here with me, and finally we got a chance to. But joining me is driver of the, well, I don't know, he's got an interesting car. He drives Dodges and McLarens and cars like that, but he drives in the JTT series currently, and that's Brett Pancari. Brett, how you doing?
Well, doing fine so far, Scal. As we are in progress right now, and I'm using a lot of patience out there at Dover. I'm surprised.
Yeah, this has been a lot of patience so far here. We got to watch a couple of laps here while I was waiting to decide if I need to get on the air or not. But so far,
five pitting.
Jonathan Thomas, I did notice, just lost it on the front straightaway. No caution out for it as he was on his own. But Bobby Cheney leading. David Shutt in second. You got the 13 of Caressel, the Nickelodeon car, in third. Jason Garrett fourth. And Justin Gable, your top 5 here. We've gone 10 green flag laps here at Dover.
10 green flags so far. Everybody patient as Jonathan is in the pits now. But the key at Dover is I've been watching in practice, you have to be really careful with the throttle control. The setup on this truck is not too bad, but if you use the throttle too much out of the corners, that truck's going to get real loose and you're going to burn the rear tires up. So using the throttle control is very, very important for this race here at Dover. And thus far, with the unfortunate exception of Jonathan, that's what you got to do to survive out here, because you're going to have to go 85 laps on field is what I heard from some of the drivers earlier. So it's going to be a long green flag ride. It's going to be hard to save those tires.
Yeah, you got to keep it all under you. And some of these guys actually just ran this track last Sunday with Sim Racing Authority, and actually seeing the kind of cream rides to the top. Bobby Cheney, who won that race. A little bit of damage on that right rear, but he's actually leading this race so far, 13 laps in. Let's go back and look in case you didn't see the starting order in this race. Cheney won the pole with a 24.669. Shutt second. Garrett, Gable, Caressel, your top 5. Wilms, Schwint, Malish, Pops, and Marcus Richardson, your top 10 is how they started. But yeah, 200 laps is Superman versus the Monster 200. And Richard Schwint sponsoring the race, of course. And it's definitely a fight against the Monster for 200 laps. As you mentioned, 85 laps is on a tank of fuel. That should come up to about a 2-strap strategy. Obviously, got to put the cautions in play there, too.
No doubt. And again, that is the key, to be patient with this track, especially out of turn 2. That wall can come up and bite you out of turn 2, especially if you get the corner wrong. Because as you saw much earlier in the JTT season, that was the corner that bit a lot of guys. And so the B car is a lot more powerful, a little more stable. These trucks are not as stable as the nationwide cars. And so far, knock on wood, everybody's been clean and green so far.
Yeah, 16 laps in, just watching Marcus Richardson getting past Jordan Malish. That is for the 8th position. So Marcus slowly marching his way up to the front as we are 16 laps in here at Dover. Talk a little bit. You were out there in practice, you got to run the track. You said basically that this track is one of those tracks that it can be slick. It depends on how you run that throttle, though.
Oh, exactly. You say I got to run about maybe half, maybe 3/4 throttle through and coming out of the corner. When you come into that throttle too hard, that back is going to jump out and that wall is going to bite you. And Marcus Richardson, as usual, showing his usual domination. And even though he started at 10th because he didn't qualify, he was almost a 10th of a second quicker than Bobby Cheney. It was almost like Nico Rosberg driving from Mercedes in Formula 1.
Oh, there's the first F1 reference in there. Nice. Now, Marcus obviously looking fast. I didn't get to see some of the speeds. He ran a 24.6. Marcus dominated the SRA race a couple nights ago at this track. Bobby ended up winning it on fuel mileage. So, obviously, we put that in our back pocket that if this race turns into a fuel mileage race. But so far, as I mentioned, caution-free, 19 laps in. You see Cheney coming up on the number 3 Silverado of Maverick McDonough. As we already started hitting lap traffic here. A good field, about 20 trucks or so starting this race. So not a bad field.
Not a bad field, and there is a lot more experienced guys out here, a lot of guys that we've seen out here many times, and seeing they're about to come and put a lap on Maverick McDonald, so this could be kind of interesting, but it looks like Mav's doing the right thing this time, get out of the way. But a lot of experienced guys, and even some young drivers who like Maverick McDonald. He doesn't have as much experience as some of these guys, but running with the experienced guys, I even admit it myself. I mean, I didn't have as much experience when I first started running some of the Norgard mystery races, and now I run with these guys almost week in and week out. So it's definitely a mix of experienced drivers out there showing their actual talents. As it looks like Shutt is actually closing up on Cheney for the lead.
Yeah, you see that battle right there, the 24 catching the 99. Yeah, McDonough's been one of those. We've talked to him in between races. He's made some mistakes here these first few weeks. But all we told him is in this situation, just go out there and learn the track. And if you get to a spot where leaders are catching you, just move aside. Give them a spot and give them room, and they'll respect you. As long as you hold the lane, as you see, like right here, Pops, for example. Pops lets Bobby go by, and you see Shutt going by. He's actually got some damage on the Alcoholics machine, and but you know, Pops let him go by. That's exactly what these lap trucks are going to do in this kind of battle.
And especially with a narrow track, narrow in terms of the groove at Dover. I mean, the bottom is the best lane to pass here. And there's not as much room as some people could think, especially on the straightaways, especially turn 2, because that is almost like a funnel. If there's a carnage or a giant pileup, everyone's going to fall in there, basically.
Yeah, they call it a self-cleaning track, basically. The track will clean itself off, basically, and you'll go to the bottom if you're one involved in it. Instantly, you see Steve Dixon going a lap down. There's Caressa working his way through here. And a battle up here for the 4th position, actually, the 73, Jason Garrett, and the 10, Justin Gable. This is going to be an interesting battle here. The 10 looking to get by the 73, who gets on that apron. That's not going to help your truck settings, and Garrett going to pull over.
No, you clip the apron like that, that's going to loosen you big time, and Garrett lets Gable go. And you catch that apron, Brett Al sends your truck for a ride and burn the rear tires off, and Gable almost gave it right back as he got loose out of turn 2, but looks like he's going to hold off Garrett for now. And
Richardson continuing that climb in at 2. He got by Wilms, now going past Nathan Hagar. Good to see him back out here on the track with us in the 98. But that 2 is on the move up to the top 5 now in the 5th position, 6th position, as now his next sights are set on Justin Gable there in the 10, and Jason Garrett for 4th and 5th. Richard Schwint back here battling with Jordan Malish to 55 and 94. Superman and Racer 0940 battling back here for the 7th and make that 9th and 10th position.
Yeah, and actually the battle for the lead right now, actually Cheney has opened up the gap on David Shutt, so Cheney might be finding something in his back pocket, or Shutt made a mistake earlier, and it looks like Cheney's starting to pull ahead right now. And we'll take a see here what his lap times are right now. Cheney's going to come by. He almost got the wall. 25.2. Well, Shutt's with him 25.29, so must have been a mistake on one lap that allowed Cheney to open up the gap on Shutt.
Well, it could be one of those deals, too, where Bobby backed off to let the tires cool down just a little bit so he could try to get a run to pull away there. But, yeah, you mentioned the difference, about 3/100ths of a second. Fastest truck on the track actually right now is Cheney by about 1/1000th. Marcus Richardson with a 2.66 last time by. Speeds at the line this time. Actually, Shutt getting him by a 10th. Caressel actually up there, too, and Marcus with another 2, it looks like. So, obviously, these lead times are pretty close together. Hagar with some pretty competitive lap times, too.
Definitely competitive times, and we actually got a battle brewing again. Oh, Gable almost got turned by Garrett. He got loose out of turn 2, but Garrett was just all over him. And it looks like this battle for the 4th spot is not done yet.
And Garrett putting him a fight. Look out, don't look now. Here comes the Blue Deuce behind him there, Marcus Richardson. He's got plenty of truck wins. He won $20 last week at Charlotte thanks to the Darren Moore 6-pack challenge. And he's looking to continue that little win streak of his in that 2 car. As I mentioned, look at truck slipping and sliding off these corners. Schwint starting to pull away from Jordan Malish. There's McFarland. Looks like everybody kind of spread out except for a few battles up here towards the front. Shutt still within about 4 truck lengths of the lead. Carressel's starting to make moves to the leader. And we'll go keep it back here 4th, 5th, and 6th as Marcus comes up on Gable and Garrett.
Yeah, Garrett got held up just a little bit again, and Gable got a little squirrely out of turn 2. But he got held just a little bit, just trying to get by Pops in 15. But it looks like Garrett might be the better truck just for a little while. But of course, they got to watch out for that dreaded number 2 of Marcus Richardson.
He is a good one there, too. You see Steve Dixon going a lap down. Dixon needs to get down that track. Oh, I thought he was going to hit that wall. Marcus going to drop to the inside there, put him a lap down. So, obviously, Marcus still about 7 seconds back. So, he's still got a little ways to go if he wants to get to that lead. He's going to need probably a caution or so to get back up there. And, obviously, getting to the point, you mentioned 85 laps on a tank of fuel. The question I have, Brett, is can these tires last those 85 laps, or do you need a short pit?
I almost wonder if you do need a short, because if you're not careful with the throttle, especially it can be harder to do that on the longer run. So if you are able to do that for 85 laps, then you should deserve a pat on the back. But it's going to be extremely tough. You may have to short pit. And if I was in these guys' shoes, I probably would short pit myself, as Garrett's getting there to look at Gable. But yeah, I think you almost have to short pit to get the better tires and eat up that gap.
Jonathan Thomas having issues again on the back straightaway. He got the wall and almost lost control again. He's heading back to pit road in that Aces truck. Actually, no, he's going to stay out. As a matter of fact, he's just running on the apron. His truck is all beaten and bashed. I think the only part of it that hadn't got damaged is the top of the truck.
Yeah, Thomas is definitely struggling out there right now. He's trying to limp it around right now, but there's a dang good balance. I think Garrett almost got the wall out too. He's going to be under pressure from Richardson.
As it looks like Hagar had some issues there in turn 3. He's able to save it. Richardson, Bass, Garrett for the position. So he's up to 5th. Going to come up on Gable now for the 4th position. A Blue Deuce on the move after starting 10th. Just patiently working his way through the field. And this is actually a very long green flag run here. 36 laps. And a 200-mile race here at Dover. Dover, a 1-mile concrete canyon, literally. And very high speeds here.
Definitely high speed, yes, but definitely more technical with the exit of the corner, because you coming up over a hill. You kind of come up over a hill, especially on turn 2. That will upset the truck. As you see, Richardson and Garrett go by Justin Gable for the 4th and 5th positions. But it's definitely the bumps out of turn 2 that will really upset the truck, because it's like almost coming up over a hill. And now unload the rear tires if you get the throttle all wrong.
Just pulling up the numbers here in our season so far. This is race number 8 of the season. Of course, next week going to be at the Texas Motor Speedway. But Marcus Richardson leading these points early by 25 over James Wilms. David shot 32 back. Dixon and Malish your top 5. So these points kind of spread out. Now, there will be drops eventually in this series. The drivers don't know that. I've been telling them that there might be, there might not be. But, yes, we are planning to put drops in the series eventually. Don't know when, but there will be. And we don't even know how many there will be.
And I think the drop thing, it definitely was, just saw Hagar get the wall turn 2. He was having a battle with Wilms. But the drop thing, it kind of makes it almost like you should forget your bad finishes. And, it makes it show all your good runs. And even the drops can make it feel like you have a better season than you actually have.
Oh, I've seen plenty of times where, especially myself in particular, have races where the 3 drops are 3 wrecks. And the other 10 or something like that in a series is 10 top 10 finishes. All of a sudden I finish 3rd in points because of it's the way it works out. But, it's a good way of forgiving people, especially for those who don't make races. If like, for instance, the week where, like, next Thursday, I won't be able to do the Texas broadcast because I'm going to have something going on. It gives me a chance if I'm in that race. I'm being forgiven for not being on broadcast, or in that case, race.
Same, exactly. Even the same boat for me too, since I missed the last 2 B races just because of my schedule, because it's just tough. But you're right about that. Like, it makes you not worry about it as much. Just say you try to run all the races, then you'd be worried a little more. But missing a couple races won't hurt you too much. If you miss more, then yeah, it may hurt a bit.
Well, it just comes down to, again, how many in the end that you miss and how many drops are allotted into the series. We're on board with Wilms actually at turn 3 and 4 as he chases that royal purple truck of Nathan Sammy Hagar at his 7th and 8th.
Yeah, I was watching earlier. Wilms looked a bit quicker than Hagar, but it might be more evenly matched so far, as Hagar really slides up the hill, and That's going to allow Williams inside. Now it looks like Hagar's going to have to throw him off the corner because with the tires being worn off, being more careful is probably more beneficial than wrecking the thing. And Williams gets to the Hagar! Hagar horn in the wall out too. And he spins it down the inside of the back straightaway. And yellow's out. Yellow's out for the first time, lap 44.
Of course, the cameraman slacking a little bit tonight, not able to get to it, but now you see the incident right there with Hagar. The 98 has gone around. First caution, lap number 44, as we got the replay for you here, the good battle. We'll have to see if Wilms gets loose or if Hagar comes down. Let's watch it closely here. You see in the corner in the one. Funkari, look at, oh, yeah, Wilms got loose and looked like got into, wow, hit that wall hard. I'm pretty sure Wilms didn't mean that.
Yeah, he just slipped just a little bit and got in the napin, and he bashed the right side of that truck pretty good, and now a little front damage, but maybe it's just the right side that might be dinged up, but it'll be interesting to see how much damage he actually has when he goes to pit here.
Yeah, good point there. Hagar, he got that wall pretty hard and was able to keep off of it mostly the rest of the way, but a single car spin from contact, bringing out first caution here, lap number 46. We're going to have pit stops here as the leader's going to dive off and head down to pit road. 35-mile-an-hour speed limit here as Cheney brings them all in.
Probably everyone's going to take four for sure, especially on this long run. So it's going to be to come down if you don't mess up your pit entry. And I think you should also try not to blaze your tires in the pit exit because that'll just loosen your truck almost immediately. We'll see what happens.
Looks like everybody on the lead lap on pit road, including Hagar, who's not on the lead lap now. He got lapped, I believe, under that caution. Let's see what we get here. 4 tires and fuel for everybody. Cheney, as he shut under 4. Garrett's just sitting there on pit road. There he goes finally for right side tires. And race off pit road going to be won by Bobby Cheney by a landslide. Looks like Caressel might outrun Shutt. Got him. Oh, Shutt purposely backs off to get that inside line. Smart move on his part. And there you go, caution number 1 on the speedway here. Lap number 47, just a quarter of the way already in to the Superman versus the Monster 200 here at Dover.
And Jason Garrett finally down the way, so he must have had some damage, and I think he decided to get that fixed. So he's going to be at the back of the field on the restart.
And you're going to see the lap cars or lap trucks come on the pit road here. As what we're going to do is I'm going to step away a quick second here, Brett, and I'm going to go fill up a drink because I just got home a little bit ago and I'm thirsty. So we're step away if you need to get a drink, some food, or whatever you got to do. Make sure you do so. We'll come back at 153 laps to go here at Dover here on Races Only TV. Yeah, back we are here at Dover as we got the one to go signal here, about to go back to racing. Here at lap number 49. Bobby Cheney going to be the leader. Caressel second, Shutt, Richardson, Justin Gable going to be your top 5. And Marcus up there to the 4th position here. It's only a matter of time, I think, before that blue deuce is up in the front. You see Malish there 6th now. Jason Garrett 7th. Schwint 8th. Yates and McFarland, your top 10. Looking back here, I believe there should be 10 trucks now on the lead lap, as McFarland, I believe, got the lucky dog there and is up in the 10th position. Looking back, yep, Yates first truck a lap down.
Now they're going to come to this restart, and they got to make sure they don't spin the tires badly. Seeing some of the pit parties, some of the drivers had some issues, so we'll see what happens here. But they got new tires, they should be okay.
His car pulls off. Cheney going to leave him to green again in his series. They do start on green flag both times. Everybody gets a pretty good clean restart down to turn 1. Cheney going to get a good jump. Let's see if Shutt can fill that gap for second. Cheney going to get out there. Here comes Shutt. Here comes Richardson going to cut to the bottom. The rest of them might be a lone man out there on the outside. That Nickelodeon truck. Oh, Williams gets loose. Schwint gets the wall. And Cheney's out to the races again.
Caressel did get back in line out too. He got in front of Richardson, which was pretty key not to lose any more ground. He's going to settle in behind Shutt.
Right, pretty much single file, going to try to get back into rhythm. Jordan Malish there in the 6th position, doing a good job again tonight. First battle on the track is way back here with Nathan Hagar. He's on the inside of Douglas McFarland. You see that heavy damage on the 98. I believe that is not for position, as McFarland got the lucky dog. And battle for 3rd. Caresso's rubbing the wall up. Marcus Richardson by. Here comes Gable.
And Caressel trying to cross him over, but he's loose and he almost wrecked it. And that's going to allow Malish to get by, and he does. And we got a battle also between these Super Captain Cheeto's teammates, Schwint and Wilms. And
Wilms!
waxed the
I was
wall.
taking too wide.
Yeah, in turn 1, it wasn't very wide, but Wilms does get by his Super Captain Cheeto's teammate, mate Schwint.
Bobby Janey leading every lap so far in the 53 this evening. He's leaving a stamp after that Racing Authority race where he was able to win it on fuel mileage tonight. He's like, hey, I'm not winning this on fuel mileage. I'm the fastest. And he's definitely showing it tonight. And knowing Marcus, those guys back there trying to save their tires just a little bit here. But Bobby's one of those guys. He's going to run consistent lap times himself. He's not one to wear tires out on his end.
No, indeed not. I mean, Cheney, Shutt, and Richardson are pretty much almost like maybe some of the elite guys in USRC or even SRA. If you beat these guys, you definitely earned your keep. Even whether it's like at Dover, or Homestead, or any of those tracks. I mean, if you like beat them at Dega, Daytona, I mean that's one thing, but you beat those guys at any of those other tracks. I mean, you've definitely earned your keep for tonight.
Should say Jonathan Thomas back on pit road, an unscheduled pit stop for the 5. He is struggling. Meanwhile, Marcus starting to come up on that back end of David Shutt. Marcus and that blue deuce will be riding with him here through the turn 2.
Checking back in the field, David Hagar just got by Gene Yates for, I believe, the 11th spot. Output in the first truck 1 lap down, so if the yellow comes out, he'll get the lucky dog at least for now. As it looks like the field is spread out, it looks like Gable, though, he wants a piece of Caressel. Actually, Caressel just got back by him.
Yeah, he got him off of turn 2. They were actually on board here with him. To the 4th position. Of course, those classic Nickelodeon shows. I see that truck, I start thinking of shows like, let's see, Nickelodeon Guts and Legends of the Hidden Temple, all those awesome shows back in the day on Nickelodeon. I actually got to tour their studios back when I was a teenager. It was a really cool deal. Got to go through in the Universal Studios. That was a really fun trip.
Yeah, the only Nickelodeon thing I ever watched was Rugrats, but I was like really young.
That's awesome. Rugrats. I actually didn't get to watch that show much. I did always play their putt-putt game, putt-putt golf game on the PlayStation. That was fun. Hagar making that 98 truck work for the damage he has. He's come up on the 9th place truck of Schwint here. And he's definitely going to catch Quentin Williams here, see if he's able to get by him.
He'll probably get by him, but he's just waiting for a caution right now because he's the first truck a lap down. So he's probably just trying hard to stay ahead of Cheney. And the main guy is driving right now, which is Gene Yates, but Yates is way back, almost in turn 1. So McFarland, or Hagar, sorry, looking pretty good if he doesn't wreck the thing, and he hit the wall again.
Watching the battle right up ahead of these guys. We got a battle for second. Marcus has got the bottom on David Shutt for second. Saw that out of the corner of my eye. Here comes Miller Eye Blue Deuce inside the Sherwin-Williams paint truck. And Marcus, he's cleared. Move him to second. Now the chase is on. Got a battle back here. Jason Garrett inside of Jordan Malish for position. This is the 7th place battle, 6th place battle. And move Garrett up. Oh, Jordan. That's a tank slapper.
Tank slapper, and his pulse went up by like 50 on that one.
Again, this is race number 8 of 30 in the United Sim Racing Championship now. We will be discussing Pops tonight here in the near future. It doesn't appear, unless they just pop up and spontaneously give it to us, that they're going to give us the Gateway International Raceway like we thought they might. And that track, if you look on the schedule, is actually 2 weeks from tonight. So we're going to be discussing what options we have. We had discussed about doing something that nobody's ever done before in iRacing. We might throw another race in there. We might just make it a bye week. We're not sure yet what we're going to do. So we will make a decision here before the end of this weekend, likely, what we're going to do with that race. If we just scrap it and make it a bye week and a shortened season of 29 races, or what. So we will make that decision here probably, if not tonight, by the end of the weekend. So that is one thing I do want to share with everyone. Also want to share that starting tonight, and I've been doing it a lot, and I've been kind of inconsistent, but I want to make it consistent. From now until October 11th, which is the Saturday, all races that are ran at night for USRC Tuesday and Thursday nights will be 8 o'clock start times until October. Reason being is I don't want to cheat the guys out of broadcasting their races. These guys deserve it. And that gives me time to get home from football practice, situate myself, and get in here and do the races, and get these on for these guys. So they will be 8 o'clock start times until the week of October 11th, and that's when I'm done with football. We'll move back up to about a 7:40 start time at that point. Oh, Hagar! Look out, boys. He was heading for the infield.
Actually, just watching the top 3 cars or trucks right now. And Cheney moves out of 4. He saves it, but then Marcus Person is coming like a hammerhead shark and Shutt not far behind her. So there could be a free truck fight for the lead here in a little bit.
You say coming like a hammerhead shark?
Yes.
I write that one down.
CBS reference.
Ah. Yeah, Cheney leading the first 68 laps so far of this race. One caution so far for contact between Wilms and Nathan Hagar. Hagar going into the outside wall hard. Hit it like almost like Matt Crafton in the truck race earlier this year. And basically flattened that right side, spun it around. He's able to continue so far, and he's actually 11th right now. First truck looking for a lap down.
Cheney looked to be really struggling right now. He may have used up the rear tires. He got a little loose out of 4. Richardson all over him. Right now, though, he drifts up a little bit. David Shutt waiting in the wings. Oh, Richardson almost lost it himself. And looks like Shutt won't be able to challenge, but Richardson lost all the ground that he just gained. Now he's got to do it all over again. But that's a product of not being careful with as careful as you can be with the tires, and clipping the apron doesn't help much either, especially on these long runs. We got another long run pretty much going on here at Dover.
Yeah, it's been some great racing. I was a little nervous watching practice. I even said to you kind of off the air, I said, this race makes me nervous. But everybody's been clean and green. The one caution, only one truck behind the wall, Jonathan Thomas, in that 5 truck having some issues. But other than that, it's been clean, green. And yeah, there might be some damaged trucks out there, but for the most part, it's just people out there minding their P's and Q's and running laps. It looks like really no battles other than that battle for the lead, as I mentioned. As you see the lap truck of McDonough going a lap down, there he is again, giving room to all the drivers. So you can see the 3 truck doing a great job learning. This kid, a young man, just wanting to race and wanting to learn. He's been, after races, been down there in TeamSpeak like, what did I do wrong? What can I do better? And we sit there and tell him. And he's definitely learning tonight, getting out of the way of the drivers, and that's how you earn respect.
Yeah, pretty much so, and he's even getting experience with running, because these series you run without driving aids allowed, and I even admit myself, I mean, there's some of the official races and even some other hosted sessions right now, if there are driving aids available, I will jump on the opportunity, but running without the driving aids on, it gives you more better experience to be able to manage your vehicle, be able to manage your brakes and tires and everything else, because it adds a whole little different experience. And for someone like Maverick, who I think it's maybe, he's young. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
so
he's
talk about his license.
We'll
talk about his license. I was going to say about his license class, but that's a whole different can of worms. But it gives you the experience of being able to feel throttle control and everything else in between. But like I said, someone like me, yeah, I'm used to doing that quite a few times, but would I prefer running the driving aids with or without it? I would rather have driving aids every day of the week.
I'm more that way on road racing. I'm just terrible at road racing. I'm one of those that's like, all right, you know what? Put those things on, show me the line, let me learn this thing. Now, I got a good group of guys that race with, as you saw them last night at Noble, the 8 or 80 guys. A bunch of those guys are actually Brazilian, and they road race. And they're actually willing to bring me in. They're going to actually bring me into some test sessions down the road because we're looking to get into some road leagues down the road with the new driver swap deal and put me in road races with the guys. So obviously me, I am terrible at road races. That's just point blank put it. I'm the guy that will finish last in every road race. But not from a lack of effort, just got to learn.
Exactly, and that's what Mav's doing right now. Being able to learn. Like I say, even with some of these elite guys, like these top 3 here, who are basically having a brawl for the lead.
Oh, Marcus, hold on!
Oh, nearly spilled his mirror light there, and now Shutt's gonna make him pay. Hopefully, he's gonna go to the inside. Richardson out of 2, and Richardson will let him go for now. But going back to the point, for Mav, he's learning with these elite guys like Cheney, Shutt, and Richardson. And that's going to make him a better racer in the future. Maybe he can beat up on me one day.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be beating up on me one day, especially. Looking at his lap times, Cheney obviously at 25.3 last time by him. Carreso at 25.4. He's actually the second fastest truck on this track right now. Now, don't get me wrong, obviously Marcus and Shutt have had their battle up there, but hey, what, the top 11, all within 2 or 3 tenths of each other.
And like I said, they're just trying to mind their P's and Q's and get a better rhythm going. And that's kind of what you need right now. Then when it gets deep in the race, so we all know, especially when you're watching NASCAR races, that the drivers will, I'm not saying they're going to act like morons, but they'll drive like crazy maniacs because they want to win this thing. Things that bad, they're going to put Gene Yates' lap down.
Yeah, for Gene Yates, that actually, I believe, someone put him 2 laps down. Hagar, they only got 1 lap down, I believe, now in the 11th position. Yeah, Yates now 2 laps down in 12th. But these long green flag runs, you get them at Dover. I mean, not surprised. I mean, I keep mentioning, wow, as Marcus runs right up on Shutt's rear end. You go back to that Sim Racing Authority race from Sunday. These guys went the last 140 lap race. They ran the last, I think, 110 laps of green, and actually came down to pit stops in the end. Deciding who's going to win it. Bobby ended up getting to the finish and winning that race. And here Cheney's picked up 81 laps complete here in this race.
And looks like right25 that battle for the lead is settled in a little bit. We're going to see what's the better time here. Cheney 25.3 for Shutt. So it may not be over yet, but Shutt maybe starting to catch back up the chase, so we could have another brawl in a little bit.
Yeah, as I mentioned, this series, in case you're just joining us for the first time, full distance, full season races, obviously with the addition of other racetracks that aren't on the actual Camping World Truck Series schedule. Like, for instance, first few weeks we put on there California, ran a race at, let's see, where else did we go? Trucks don't normally run it. Let's say Auto Club. Road America did a race there, and that's what it's all about here. Is a big long series where we can have fun, and that's what we're doing here tonight. The Superman versus the Monster 200. Last week, Charlotte Motor Speedway, 134 laps in that race, won by Marcus Richardson, winning the Darren Moyer six-pack challenge and $20 after winning at Daytona, and winning at Charlotte. Shutt finished second in that race. Wilms, Schwint, Malish, Scala, Garrett, Yates, O'Brien, Brian Ray, actually your top 10 in that series. Race that had only featured 2 cautions, and that race took about an hour and 15 minutes to get 200 miles done. So that just shows you when you get this clean green racing. One thing that was brought up when I brought this idea up, like, why don't we do full distance truck races, was, you know what, it might be too long. I think the longest race we've had so far was like an hour and a half.
And because Lower America is such a big road course. Whereas then, of course, the trucks in real life, they haven't run there, though. If NASCAR had their way, even though they're not that smart sometimes, they would run in Road America, especially with the Cup Series and all that stuff. But it gives them kind of the experience of running full distances. But I think maybe running a longer distance preaches more patience. Instead of, like, say, some of the official sessions as Richardson goes for second again, it maybe preaches more patience out of the drivers, and it makes it for a better show for the spectators and for the drivers they have, because a lot of the drivers out here prefer the longer green flag runs because it makes it better for them, and it gets it, like I said, it gets a better show for everyone.
Well, and you think about it, this is not a diss on any of the series. I mean, we respect every league that runs out here in iRacing, because obviously it's part of something that people like to do for fun. But you look at some of the series out there, some are 70 laps. I mean, most of these are 70, 75, 80 lap races, or 100, and some like to modify the fuel strategy and stuff. And that's what we did over in our JTT series on Tuesday nights. But for this, it was like, you know what, let's lengthen these races out and let these guys race. You know what, if you get into a spin, it gets you time to come back to the front. As I'm actually on board here watching Malish, Wilms, and Schwint here. This is 7th, 8th, and 9th on the board as these guys start to come together to battle.
Kind of brief look over here, and the two Super Captain Cheetos teammates, Wilms and Schwint, they were having a little battle, but now it looks like Schwint's starting to lose ground to Cheetos, and he's catching up on Malish. And actually, earlier while we were discussing, remember the little discussion there, Richardson took second position away from Shutt, but not before nearly crashing the thing out of turn 2. But he has gotten by, but they lost a bunch of ground to Cheney.
And you see it right there, Marcus getting by, and don't look now. Look back and forth. Nick Carresso's within about 2 seconds of these guys. As you see, Marcus has gotten by Shutt. You see Carresso right here coming out of turn 2 there in that Nickelodeon green and yellow GAC truck. As we're 90 laps in, we're about halfway, 10 laps away.
10 laps away from halfway here. There are Dover, and now Ben right now, Carresso has got to be licking his chops right now, because these guys, especially Richardson and Shutt, are kind of worn their tires out a little bit. And Carresso just running out there, clicking off last man himself, and not having to worry about any battles. Though it looks like he may be witnessing another battle as Richardson is catching Cheney once again.
Cheney up the track. That gives Marcus the room. He almost stuck his nose in there when the sun don't shine. It can only be inevitable here that Marcus might yank the lead away from Bobby Cheney here. Let's see. Bobby slides up the track again, kind of diamonding off turn 2, which is not a bad thing here. Dover, he's right on him.
Richard,
wow.
He tried to get him loose a little bit there. He got right up on his bumper. And I think Cheney running that high, maybe not,
He's gonna
maybe
let him
not
go.
that,
He's gonna let him
not
go.
that high.
That's Bobby letting him go. Marcus could take the lead. First lead change of the day at lap 92. Moved the 2 to the front. That was Bobby letting him go.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize that. But I was going to say, like, even run a little higher, it may help you get off of the corner on the longer runs. You may lose some ground, but it may save your tires a little bit, running like a lane higher. That's what it looked like Cheney was doing, but I didn't realize that Richardson was too strong.
Meanwhile, back here, that battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th. Wilms is right on the back bumper. Jordan Malish, Schwint starting to work his way into this picture also.
And Malish, actually, he had a real good run at Charlotte. There, he was up in the top 3, I think, at one point. And then some stride, I think Brahman had like 4 for some, as it looks like Williams is going to take a look on the inside. But it looks like Matt's going to hold him up. Almost held him up, almost ended a calamity.
Yeah, that one, Malice ran great at Charlotte. He got in the wall, but had some damage in that race. That race I ran too and had some damage myself, and just not a good track condition. But Malice did a great job staying on the lead lap and eventually finishing a lap down, but able to get a top 5 for that 94. Board with Wilms, ex-Macy on Twitch, in case you happen to follow him, or 0940 Jordan Malish on Twitch. If you follow him, it's a battle between Twitchers. Wilms gonna get him, I think. Oh, Malish gonna fight him. You better be aware, McDonough up here, a lap truck, him and Pops.
Whoa!
Wow!
Malish just dinged the rear of Wilms just a slight bit. He's gonna try and cross him back over. They gotta get it sorted out soon. It looks like Schwent's gonna go on the outside too of Malish. So I think Malish should have the better line out of 2.
Oh, Malish got loose there. Oh, there's a wall.
There's a wall, there's a Superman truck, there's Super Captain Cheeto's teammates over there.
Not to mention, look behind here. Marcus Richardson only about a half a straightaway away from these guys, so they better decide it pretty quick. There we go. David Shutt getting by Bobby Cheney for second back there. We missed that obviously a few minutes ago. But the 24 now up to the second position here as we've gone a good 60 laps here. So we're going to be seeing green flag pit stops here in the very near future. Oh, close to the wall.
Near future, and I wonder how much these guys practice their green flag pit stops, because to be honest, I wasn't really sure how, because it's tough to get on pit road or at Dover if you try to come up from 3 and 4. So it makes me wonder if some of the guys who didn't practice their green flag stops that much may come in, go off in turn 3 and make sure their entry to the pit road is clean.
This is actually one of the, it's tough to get onto, but if you know how to get on, it's actually relatively easy to get on the pit road as Jordan Malish goes a lap down. And what I mean by that is, basically, if you brake from right there where Malish is in turn 3 and just brake right to the pit road, you'll hit your mark perfect.
Well, indeed so, but it's always harder with worn tires. I mean, if you try to come on pit road, say like at Talladega with real worn tires, you may just lose the thing and it may mess up your race. So it's gonna be interesting when they try to get on the pit road, and you have to keep in mind and make sure they don't get run over by any guys that may not be coming in on the next pit stop.
You see the race analysis so far as we've hit our halfway analysis. One lead change, that was it, and that just literally happened 11 laps ago with Marcus Richardson. One caution for 4 laps. That caution back in lap 45 when James Williams got in the back of Nathan Hagar, and that has been it here at Dover. Relatively clean and green considering how practice went. These guys have done a phenomenal job of great racing here. Drivers showing a lot of respect out here too.
Definitely a lot of respect and giving each other a lot of room. When I saw earlier when Richardson got by Shutt and he nearly lost the thing, Shutt backed off to make sure that he didn't plow into the back of him and causing their yellows. You see the bow for a second, maybe a bit, but it looks like now that's settled in a little bit as they get by Richard Schwint. And you definitely have to show us, but at a track like Dover, even some of the narrower tracks that they may go to, and that's what you kind of want to show, is a respect for all your fellow competitors out there. I mean, sure, sometimes the level of patience may go out the window late in running, but that's where you kind of show to make sure you get to the end of these races.
Oh, absolutely. And one interesting thing I'm thinking about here, Brett, I'm kind of putting the race backwards here. We went green with about 160 laps to go, if I remember correctly, about 160 or so. And you mentioned earlier 85 laps on a tank of fuel. Do the math on that. We're getting close here to green flag pit stops. You're going to probably want to get another 8 to 10 laps out of your tank of fuel, or else you might need to pit one more time to get to the finish.
And I wonder if the drivers may realize that too, if they're going to start seeing fuel, that being them cutting their engines when they get into the corner and letting off a little earlier. So it makes me wonder about that now that you mentioned that with them going 85 laps. But we'll see when the drivers come in. But you got to remember also, will any of these guys actually short pit and take a risk and hoping that a yellow will come out or two to make it to the end, and they don't have to worry about the fuel loads. That's kind of something, like the ball's kind of in their court to understand. So you may see some varying strategies perhaps.
Could very well happen. You see Wilms trying to fight Marcus to stay on the lead lap here. Marcus in that 7th position, or James, I should say. Marcus in the lead here. Marcus to the inside. Wilms fighting that outside lane, man. Definitely impressed with that two-group racing here, but now Wilms going to finally say, all right, you can have it. I give up.
Well, there's potential for two-group racing, but usually the paths are made on the bottom side of the track. Though sometimes if you run the high lane, you kind of pinch the guy down and get him a little loose. And of course, a lot of drivers, when you get onto the inside somebody, especially on some tracks, the vehicle will tighten up big time. So that's one thing about the two-group races. I mean, you don't have it easily passed until you know you got it passed. Sometimes you can fight a guy for a good long time.
And if you're just joining us, had a little bit of issues at the beginning of the broadcast. Didn't get on here until we got on for the beginning, but then we were out for the first 10 laps. Got kicked out, and so far we've made it here. And we're 100 laps in. Bobby Cheney leading the first 92. Marcus Richardson's led the last 19. And Shutt pulling away. He's second right now. Bobby Cheney third. Carresso is starting to catch Cheney for the 4th position. And then it's a little ways back to the 5th position truck that is being driven by, I believe it should be the 10 of Justin Gable. There he is in 5th. He's a long ways back, over 20 seconds or so. Jason Garrett there in 6th, and then everybody else a lap down. And then Marcus Richardson there in the turn 1. Actually more about 15 to 20 seconds behind. As Marcus slides up the track there too. I thought there was a caution for a second where he entered that corner, but I think he just got tight.
And actually, don't look now, but there might be a battle for the number 3 spot. Cheney might be getting caught by Carresso, as Carresso last time ran about maybe 400ths quicker than Cheney the last time by. So Cheney may have to be careful here of Carresso.
I see Cheney sliding up the track. Carresso going to get that run on the bottom. That 13 got a little ding on that right front there, but he's still driving that truck hard.
And he probably saved his tires a lot more because he was running by himself earlier when Cheney, Shutt, and Richardson were having that duel for the lead. So Carresso might be in the captain's seat to get Cheney, maybe Shutt. We'll have to see when they come up on pit stop soon.
And here we are at that 85 lap to go mark. So I'm pretty sure if everybody does start pitting from here, you can get to the finish on a tank of fuel, I'm pretty sure. The question is, do you have the tires to make it that far? But I could see probably another 5 laps or so, get to lap 120, get to pit road, 8 laps to go, get those tires, and get out there and try to get track position.
Just saw the corner of my eye, it looked like Nathan Hagar got on pit road there first, but he's a few laps down in 12, so he's going to get his service done early.
That's correct, Hagar there on pit road. The number 98 truck involved in the incident earlier. Cheney has to save it off 4. Nice save there. Jordan Malish could be the first leader to pit road in 9th place. Hagar actually taking his car to the garage.
Looks like more problems than they realized.
see Jordan Malish coming on pit road here. 4 tires of fuel from the 94 crew. Twitch.tv/Racer0940 is his Twitch. His page is actually a really good one. He's got a lot of unique technology on there. He's one of those computer guys. 4 tires, fuel, and he gone. David Shutt.
Cheney also coming in. He just lost the third position to Carresso, so looks like he's going to come in now along with Shutt.
Second and third will get the timer out for these guys as they pit. Lap number 119, so 81 laps to go here at Dover. Full-time Shutt's pit stop here in the 24. Obviously, Marcus not going to be far behind him. I wouldn't be surprised he's on pit road next time by here. Shutt is in. Right side tires for them both, and I don't see Marcus on pit road yet. Left side tires on Shutt's truck. 13 seconds flat. Cheney going to be coming our way behind him. Good stop for both of them, and they're gone. Lap number 120. Now, what they don't want is a caution here, because let's face it, this pit road's so long, you're going automatically 2 laps down. You see Marcus coming by right now, as a matter of fact.
And it's going to be hard to get the laps back right now. And we'll see here the timing and scoring here. When they do come by, you're going to see Shutt and Cheney a couple laps down.
And you also see these trucks, the fastest trucks on the track, real quickly here. As you see already, Cheney Diamond inside of Wilms. Shutt's going to come right up on Richardson here. He should be able to pass him going to turn 3. These tires are going to make a load of difference. Matter of fact, I'll look at lap times. Marcus last time by at 25.6. Let's see what Shutt's lap time is. You see him below him by. As James Wilms on pit road, he run at 5th right now. Marcus 25.893, David Shutt 24.9, so almost a second difference. So Marcus needs to pit like yesterday.
Definitely so, and right now with Shutt being only 1 lap down, Marcus was kind of wondering how long he can actually think he should stay out there, because with Shutt running as fast as he is, 24.8 for Shutt, and Richardson was a 25.5. So you gotta wonder if Richardson may be staying out of the hair too long.
Well, and to counter that, and I'll play the devil's advocate here. Tires. If you wait now, let Shutt pull away, you're going to come back with fresher tires now when you come out of pit road.
And that's again the strategy factor. When do you want to come in? And you make sure you think about all the variables that can happen before you come in. So Shutt may be in the catbird seat right now on the shorter runs, but if they stay green like this, Marcus may have something to say about it, and it looks like he's gonna be pitting this time.
Yeah, you see Wilms off pit road. Schwinn is in right now. Superman, here comes Marcus to pit road. Get entry by that blue deuce. As here he comes, we'll get the timer on him on his pit stop. Shutt with a 13 flat earlier. That'll hand the lead to Nick Carresso in the 13. Gable will be second. Garrett in third as they still are yet to come to pit road.
And quick little tidbit. Douglas McFarland and Jonathan Thomas have both taken their cars behind the wall.
I think Marcus with the pit stall right there before victory lane. More tires and fuel for the Blue Deuce. 13.7 on the 2. Now the question comes, where is David Shutt on the track? We'll go and find him here, as David is now coming out turn 4. And believe it or not, Marcus is going to beat Shutt off pit road.
Just by the skin of his teeth, I think any slower stop, and I think Shutt would have had him right back. So
I think the difference there is the entry. I think Marcus was able to get a better entry and exit.
And you're probably right. That being maybe the difference was there as Steve Dixon gets out of the way. He's going to come to pit road himself. But I think better entry there. And now Richardson's going to reap the reward of waiting just a little longer. And he's going to have the better tires now than Shutt.
Again, your leader to 13 at Nick Caressel. Jason Garrett, the only 2 leaders not to pit so far. And then Marcus will be 3rd, Cheney in 4th, and then Shutt 4th. Bobby Cheney will be 5th after green flag pit stops in what has been a almost 90 lap green flag run. Good thing I went and got that drink.
Yeah, definitely. I might do. I'm probably gonna need one myself at the end of the night.
Interested enough to see Cressel might be trying his tire strategy, because you look at some of the lap times he ran when these guys are battling for the lead, and Cressel caught him. He got within about a second and a half. So, right now you're looking at Richardson pit about 6 laps ago, Cheney and Shutt about still 10 to 15 laps ago. So these tires are really going to come.
They're going to come in handy on the longer run, but the thing is right now, it's the question of how much time is Caressel going to lose before he comes in. Because right now, in terms of time he scored, right now he is a lap ahead of Marcus. And Marcus right now, he's just coming by the start-finish line now, so he's almost 1.5 laps ahead of Richardson. So it could be a potential race out pit road. It looks like Carressel's going to come down this time.
Nick coming in.
And there goes Marcus and Shutt, so they're just going by the line now. So I think they'll get by Caressel, just no matter how much.
Yeah, in the end, Carressel's going to lose probably a good 5 to 10 seconds, but we'll see if those truck tires work their way back in. That damage obviously might play a role also in that 13. See right side tires going on, left side tires now. 66 laps to go. And the GAC machine going to pull away. Let's see where Marcus is now on the track, because he's probably already flown by. Matter of fact, Marcus is going into turn 3 now, so that shows you the time that Caressel lost there. But I tell you what, Shutt is not let back. He's only about a second or so behind here from these two, but still Jason Garrett to pit road now, so he's the last truck to pit. This will give Marcus Richardson the lead in the Amazing Cycle green flag pit stops again here.
And now with it, the way to trend the races right now, if they stay green like this, how good are you at saving your tires? How good are you at saving your equipment till the end? Because you saw there, Caressel was the best at it, but he's a good ways back. He just went by the start-finish line now. And Richardson's in turn 3 and 4, so sure, Caressel may have the better tires, but he is way far back. He's going to need at least a caution or two.
And we'll take you through a full field rundown here in just a second once everybody crosses the line. You see Marcus Richardson, he is your leader. David Shutt there in second. Bobby Cheney in the 3rd position. And it's way on back. As a matter of fact, I'll have to check on this, but I believe Jason Garrett might move up to 4th here. He might be a lap down also. I'll have to check on that. But there's Caressel in the turn 3. He is the 4th place truck, so Garrett is actually a lap down now officially to the leaders. But there's the difference right there. It is a pretty big one.
Lap times are fairly close right now between Richardson and Shutt. Marcus was about less than a tenth quicker that time, but we'll see as they come by the line. Shutt not really letting get away that much. 25-1-4, and actually Mercer get about another 10, so he maybe starting to have those better tires now.
Yeah, the difference, 13 seconds from Carreso back from the leader, Marcus Richardson. That lead holding about the same right now from the 2 back to the 24. Richardson put him another lap down there in the 55, but this, again, green flag run now reaching 100 laps long. And what has been the one caution, Wilms getting up into Nathan Hagar. Hagar hitting that wall on the outside there in turn 2. So 60 laps to go. Let's take a look at let's take a look at what is coming up here on For Racers Only TV in the next couple of days. Again, I've said tomorrow night, and it will happen tomorrow night. We'll have the running of the Pocono 175 for Sim Racing Authority. We will rebroadcast that race from Monday night. We'll do that tomorrow night as soon as I get home from high school football Friday night. Should be about 11 o'clock or midnight or so Friday night. We'll have that broadcast for you here on For Racers Only TV. And the next time we will be on won't be again until Sunday. There is a race Saturday night. Let me go and put that out there. There is a race Saturday night for the Road Series, and Lock and Load Roadkill Series. That will be at Coda. And that race will be Saturday night, 7 o'clock, but that race will not be broadcasted live because I will be on assignment doing things that evening. I got a long day. And then Sunday we'll be back on the air. Sim Racing Authority Truck Series, WKND Knuckle Deep Truck Series from Charlotte. Yes, I'll be broadcasting that race, but as I said, it's Charlotte. And caution out on the speedway.
It looks like it's for Maverick McDonough. I'm going to have a quick look here because he is slow. It is Maverick McDonough.
McDonough, who's been having a clean race all night, has been doing a great job staying out of everyone's way and just running laps. Finally has an issue off of turn 4 here, lap 145. Let's see, up Debbie gonna lose the back end. And goes spinning across the front straightaway. Keeps it out of the wall, though. How do you do that at Dover?
Looked like he just stabbed on the brakes. He just held it there. Luckily, he did not get plowed by anyone, and it looks like the leaders are going to come in, so pretty critical pit stop now this late in the going. Well, not late, but almost late.
These could be the pit stops that win it, but you know what? I can see some strategy too. Let's see what Marcus does here. If anything, Carreso, why not 2-tire this thing? I mean, yeah, there's not many cars on the lead lap. Matter of fact, there's 4, maybe 5. Richardson with 4. He's gone. Everybody's on 4 tires, it looks like. Now the 5 trucks on the lead lap. Everybody 4 tires. Fuel. Which, not a bad decision either. Now, what I would do in this situation is I wouldn't put fuel in the truck because that'll tighten this thing up.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like everyone being a little more cautious, thinking there's still going to be another long green flag run. So they figured maybe play it safe. If there is another one late in the race, and if they do have to come in, someone's going to probably take that risk and go with 2.
And how many trucks on the lead lap here? Only 5 now. After that green flag run, exactly 100 laps or so. Lap trucks on pit road now. Yates, Malish, Garrett, all those guys back to pit road here. Gable, I believe, getting a wave around there to get back on the lead lap. So that should put 5 back on the lead lap. But I was starting to say, as this caution is out, you know what? I don't have an in-race reporter for this race, and I really didn't get a chance to pick one because of the issues we had with earlier. So I'm just going to grab Marcus here, and let's talk to him. And let's see what he's thinking right now. Marcus Richardson, Chris Scall in the booth. Get a copy.
Different now, my clock.
Yours too, I see. If we get a chance to, real quickly, talk about, the race itself out there. Good green flag run there. These trucks been all over the place.
Yeah, it's pretty off the corner. You gotta really just try to manage your tires and then not tear them up. Once you tear them up, it's pretty junk after that. So just trying to be smooth and got a long run here, so just trying to do the same thing I've done already, so it may work out.
Well, good luck in that Blue Deuce, and yeah, the iRacing servers aren't the best right now. But nice job, Marcus. Good job, the rest of you guys, and good luck the rest of the last 50 laps, sorry. Going to see Schwint, going to see Wilms, going to see Dixon take the wave around here. That's going to get them back, I think, within a lap of each other. Wilms maybe back on a lead lap. Not sure there. But Marcus is going to be the leader as we get ready to go back to racing here. Lap number 148. Now, as I was saying earlier, next time I'll be on the air will be Sunday night for the, after Friday, will be Sunday for the Sim Racing Authority race. And as I said, they're at Charlotte. Brett, when they're at Charlotte, what do I normally do?
You usually run.
I'm running. I'm going to go get in that truck. I'm going to run the Dragon truck that Mr. Fish there showed off to me. I'm going to put that paint scheme on the truck and run it Sunday night at Sim Racing Authority at Charlotte. I'm going to run that and then turn right back around and go over to the NIS race and run at New Hampshire later on that evening. So I'm going to pull a doubleheader. We'll have it both for you here live on Races Ahoy TV as we get ready to go back to racing. 62 laps to go. How cool would it be, though, to have a Dragon in victory lane?
I don't know, maybe better than a martini.
Oh, well, there you go. All right, here we go. 62 laps to go. Marcus, Cheney, Shutt, Caressel, Gable, your top five. Green flag back out. Oh, Gable, hold on. Everybody clean off of turn two. And battle, nope. Looks like fourth place is going to settle out right now. Everybody's single file, though, but a good restart.
And that fourth battle is going to happen now. Wrestling inside of Gable. Jason Garrett looking in behind, also getting a little loose out to Caressel. Does not have a corner on Gable, but Gable drifted high a little bit. Caressel on the inside. And he got him. Gable trying to get back in line. He does. Just barely ahead of Garrett, but it looks like Caressel has got the fourth spot now. He's going to try to set his sights on Richardson, Shutt, and Cheney.
A little disappointed looking over here at Andy on Twitch tonight, eating Mexican food, not inviting us for some. I could definitely enjoy an enchilada or something tonight.
Or a chili con queso.
Oh, that's oh, Garrett's in the wall. So is Malice. Everybody's hitting the wall in the front stretch for some reason. Battle for the lead. Shutt is here. Richardson with a little tank slapper off two. One of my favorite slogans used that Fish always does the double facepalm for. Shutt looking to paint his way to the lead.
Well, he's got a Sherman-Williams paint truck, so why not?
Appreciate the viewers watching us this evening. I see Marche Edney in the chat tonight. Would love to see Marche on the track. Bring back the evil Cheetos. That would be awesome. Mr. David Fish out here. Up there's the facepalm from Fish. Thank you. Right on time. Of course, Andy out here. Petrick out here. All of our great viewers watching us tonight. Top three have kind of settled down. Really no battles other than that top three. So everybody just kind of spreading out and trying to log laps here to get to the finish. As we are 164 laps or 154 laps here. Done at Dover to Superman versus the Monster 200 so far. I didn't say, Shutt almost got the wall. But the driver's doing a great job against the Monster.
Yeah, definitely doing a great job. Like I said, being as patient and using that throttle control, you know, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, and being that patient and being good with the throttle, you know, I think is what's allowing this longer runs out here. Although unfortunately, some drivers unfortunately had some issues with, as you said earlier, the servers aren't quite the best. Unfortunately, we lost Matt McDonough also, though he has rejoined. But definitely as clean as one of the cleaner races I've seen at this track, and being as long and being as patient as these drivers are tonight, it definitely goes to show the quality of some of the drivers out here.
Oh, these are some of the best drivers you have in iRacing out here. I mean, you see the guys that run over at Sim Racing Authority running here, and vice versa. I mean, these guys race together. They trust each other. About 95% of them trust each other. And, you know, they put on good shows. I mean, I mentioned a little bit ago, these guys ran Sunday at Dover and ran a 140-lap race and had one caution. So, I mean, here tonight we've had 2 cautions and 160 laps. Here we are, an hour and 17 minutes into the race. So, I mean, it's not been a long race at all.
No, it hasn't at all. Oh, definitely getting near the end and gonna be done maybe about like an hour and a half the way how long it's going. It looks like Shutt maybe starting to reel Richardson in a little bit, or they're just saving his stuff. Who knows?
And Mark is looking for win number 4 of the season already in 8 races as he won Daytona. Also came back, won at Auto Club, and then winning at Charlotte last week. So Mark is looking to make it 2 in a row. David Shutt winning the 2 previous races at Kansas and at Road American. Of course, Cheney not yet a winner on the board, but he is the champion of this truck series, won last year's season over Richard Schwentz. So obviously anything can happen, plenty of time. Next week, next Thursday night, Texas Motor Speedway for 167 laps and 250 miles. That race will not be broadcasted live as I have a previous engagement I have to do Thursday evening next week. But we will have that into the weekend sometime. So be aware of that, Texas next week. And then we will make a decision this week about the Gateway race, which is supposed to come up in 2 weeks. But it doesn't look like Gateway will be on the iRacing servers here unless they just pop up on us. So we will make a decision on that race and what we'll do here probably by the end of the weekend.
Justin Gable has just gotten back by Nick Caressel with the 4th spot. Caressel slapped the wall out of 4, and that allowed Gable to get inside. He made the pass, going to the race to move to 10. Breaking Bad Machine up to the number 4 spot. And Jason Garrett gotten back by Jordan Malice, so move him up to the number, actually he is at 6 now because Malice is the first truck a lap down.
38 laps to go, and you see Maverick McDonough letting the leaders go on by. Again, Maverick doing a great job tonight. Made one mistake so far this evening. He lost it off of turn 4. That brought that last caution out, but he did a great job locking the truck down, keeping it off the wall. And Maverick, yeah, he might be 17 laps down, but you know what? He's done a fairly good job tonight to keep it out of trouble. I mean, you go back to a few weeks ago, him and Bordeaux in second. I believe it was Chicagoland or something like that. I don't remember the exact race, but and basically Bordeaux had to move him out of the way. And then something again last week, and he's learning, which is good.
Actually, it was Homestead.
Okay.
But exactly, like I said, and moving out of the way and learning the line and running as long as many laps as he can, like I mentioned earlier.
On board with David Shutt, we're watching him chase down Marcus. Trying to.
He just lost a bunch of time. Not sure if he got loose or something. That just allowed Cheney to close back in as Richardson almost returned the favor.
Well, Marcus, one thing I'm watching here, if you go on board Shutt's truck, you'll see it. Marcus is diamonding the corners. And in case somebody's watching this, what diming is, you enter the corner low, you let the truck slide up, and then you dive it back to the bottom and basically makes the straightaway longer. You see him there, enter 3, brings it up track a little bit, and launches it back off the straightaway.
And it helps, and it does help you, I think, get off the corners better. Maybe diving the truck like that, maybe a little higher, like say maybe there. And it allows you to help you, I think, get off the corner a little better, because if you come off from the bottom up, that's going to upset the truck a lot more. So I think what Marcus is doing is exactly probably what doing on the long run, diving in that truck and not abusing the rear tires as badly as you would just to stay down low.
Pops about knocked the wall down in turn 4. Don't know if anybody saw that, but Marcus coming up on that alcoholic machine. I call it an alcoholic machine. He's got Jose Cuervo and Bud Light on the truck. Sounds like a good night to me.
And forcing Richardson down low has actually helped shut Ketchum just a little bit. But he's going to need a lot more help, I think, to catch Richardson as we are about to come up. Looks like about just over 30 laps to go now.
Best bet on the track, I'm going to go back to it here, is these two right here. As Carreso got back by Gable. These guys are putting on a dogfight back here, or should we say a horse fight, since we're on the outskirts of a horse track at Dover.
Yeah, you might say that.
Of course, as you know, Dover International Speedway on the outskirts of the Dover Downs horse track that you actually see the backstretch there. There's those casino buildings where they do all the horse racing. Gable with a good runoff too. Here's a battle for 4th. It is on. Gable puts it back in line. They want to stick the nose there. These guys are well over 9 seconds back. Jason Garrett also a part of this battle. He is right there too. And then James Williams back in 7th. He, again, as you remember, stayed out, got the waiver on there, so his tires are pretty worn out. Richard Schwint 2 laps down back in 9th. Jordan Malish in 8th there, so 7 cars on the lead lap, or trucks, I should say.
Right now, it looks like the battle may have set a little bit between Russell and Gable at this point. But Gable, he's been entering the corners a lot higher, I've noticed this, than some of the other drivers were earlier on in the run. Just trying to dash him, he's actually coming in a lot higher, about a groove higher almost than Cressel has. So it's kind of what Mark is doing, but maybe a little bit on the extreme side.
You know, one thing I've been thinking about here a little bit, I know he's about 1.5 seconds back. He's not too far back, but I'm looking at Bobby Chaney. He's one that if he sees that he doesn't have a chance to win this race, and when I say by chance, I mean not the fastest truck out there. He's one of those, he will back his truck up, and all of a sudden you see the end of the race, he takes off, and he becomes the fastest truck on the track. So do not underestimate that 99 back there. He's got a chance to win this thing.
Especially if you stay green, because you never know with him trying to save those tires. And unless a caution comes out, then it may change everything, and then they'll really get on the hammer.
Yeah, and that would definitely make things interesting if a caution were to come out right now, because let's face it, cautions breed cautions, and they haven't done it tonight, but you got under 20 to go. People are going to start making moves that you wouldn't make in the first 180 laps of a race. And you see the lap truck of Steve Dixon there, the Smirnoff mobile, going a lap down.
And like I said, with less than 20 to go, they'll start being more aggressive. But right now, the truck, everything's pretty much spread out big time. So that potentially may not happen unless someone self-spins.
Which in this setup on this truck could easily happen.
Just almost happened. Just saw Gable get extremely loose out of turn 2, but he did save it. But he just lost a ton of ground to Carreso, so Carreso looking much better now in 4th spot, and Gable's still struggling.
Yeah, he's definitely got a 4-wheel slide going on that truck. He's probably calling in the pit crew, and the pit crew's like, yep, sorry, Reed Pizza. You see James Williams back here, took the wave around in the 7th position, last truck on the lead lap. Richard Schwint there to sponsor this race tonight, Superman versus the Monster 200. Gene Yates back here in the 31, haven't talked about him much. He's a few laps down. You see the leaders back there in the background. come up on 20 to go. Let's take a look at our race analysis so far. And you see that numbers change a little bit. 6 lead changes now instead of that 1. A green flag pit stop obviously made up a good portion of them. 2 cautions for 8 laps, and that has been it. As you see the leader coming up on McDonough and put him another lap down. McDonough going to give him the inside. But only 2 cautions so far. The first one, Wilms getting in the back of Nathan Hagar and putting him in the wall in turn 2. Totally incidental. Oh, speaking of, no!
Oh, and Shutt cannot be happy about that one, but that was a tough situation there where McDonough was. They were just coming out of turn 2, and now that definitely hurt David Shutt's truck badly now, and any chance he had of catching Richardson maybe out the window now.
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, I see damage to the right rear as Marcus gets by Gene Yates. You know what? Not much damage on that 24. He might be okay.
Maybe, but it looked like it grinded that wall a little bit there, but it's hard to say. We'll have to see what the lap is. I mean, he was slowly kind of chipping away at that lead, but now we'll have to see here when he gets a clean lap in how damaged that truck really is.
That time by, Shutt actually faster by 2/10. Probably a pissed off guy in that truck now. Let's see, this time by, Marcus 25.3 to a 25.5. So yeah, Marcus faster by 2/10 that time by.
Pretty much flip-flop lap times.
And where is David Shutt gone?
Did we lose him?
Cheney's gone too.
Found Cheney.
There's Cheney, and then Shutt just came back too. Okay. Maybe it's me that's... Yeah, I'm having quality issues here, so come on, quality, make it the last 15 laps.
Actually, I lost him too, but I did find him back, so...
Yeah, as we were talking throughout the night, Maverick did a phenomenal job staying out of everybody's way, and that one mistake right there, those are the things you learn from. Unfortunately, the hard way you learn.
Yeah, hard way indeed.
That time by, Shutt faster by barely, we'll just say. And now Marcus is gone.
Gone for me.
My
too,
quality
actually.
is literally about to, you know what. This would be an unbelievable ending if this were to happen after what kind of race we've had here tonight.
Definitely.
Marcus is somewhere in this area. As Pops up there they go, they're all falling through. Pops is gone. Marcus is gone. No way.
Is there a full moon out there tonight? Is there a solar eclipse?
Wilms is gone now. Thomas falling through. You got to be kidding me. This is absolutely disappointing to see this.
Especially for the
And now I'm
guys that
seeing
are really
iRacing
out
is down. Apparently, the uppermost king who's watching us here. Appreciate you guys watching us.
there. Just lost Garrett.
Now Garrett gone.
In the words of wrestler CM Park, you have entered Bizarro world.
Well, the leader is technically David Shutt. Should be Marcus Richardson. Shall we say the monster won this battle?
I would only say one if there were damaged trucks.
No, I mean by that is another kind of monster.
Touche. So I know one thing for sure. It's gonna be a pretty interesting post-race chat with some of these drivers, considering all these issues and seeing how many trucks are left here.
I'm interested to know if Pops had another rant.
Maybe.
And coming up, we're going to have 5 laps to go here in this race. I've seen 2 cautions. Let's see, 2 cautions and an interrupted start on my end because of the servers. And this.
I mean, that's probably the one word I would describe it as this, because there's no word to describe what just happened. I mean, it is an unfortunate part of sim racing, these I wouldn't say connection issues, but sometimes the servers, it is an unfortunate part of sim racing. It's kind of the unfortunate part, say, like in real life, your car break, like the car blowing engine, say, like when you're leading by like 5 laps. And it is an unfortunate part of sim racing, but it's just something that we all have to deal with.
Very true situation there. And I was actually over here poking with Pops, just telling him that we're gonna go and discuss this situation after the race. So definitely say to you guys who are watching, stick around after the broadcast. I mean, I'm gonna mute everything, but Pops and I are gonna discuss this. As now Cheney just went bye off the screen. We're losing more people.
No, he's still here on me.
Is he? Okay. Okay, yeah, he just came back. There he is. And 2 laps to go for David Shutt. What is going to be his 3rd win of the season here in the 42. Not under the circumstances he wants, I'm sure. Not under the circumstances anybody would want. But white flag out for the 42. Well, he had some contact with a lap truck here just a little bit ago, got in the wall, and now with blinking issues and all types of hoopla, David Shutt's going to take the checkered flag at Dover. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go mute the channel here, guys. I'm actually going to talk to the drivers real quickly there. Stand by.
That's right.
Drivers, nice race. Stand by. I'm going to go and I got to go take care of a couple things here. I will do interviews. Stay in your channels. I'll be back.